Welcome to More Than a Paycheck, the podcast for high achievers who feel trapped in their job but know something has to change. If your bad manager and toxic work environment have you stressed and working crazy hours, and you want an easier solution than finding a new job, you're in the right place. Let's do this. Hey everybody, how you holding up? All right, today I want to talk about hope. And what I'm trying to do to create more of it. I'm not going to lie, it has been a year. There's a lot happening, some highs and some lows, but it has been rough. And I live in the Pacific Northwest where it literally is pitch black about 4 o'clock. And so it just feels like so much of the day is spent in the dark, and it's just harder on me mentally. And usually I'm okay, but I go into winter and then I get a little down and then it starts to get lighter again and we're okay. But I kind of went into winter down already. And there's lots of stresses at home and in my personal life and lots of uncertainty about the near future. And I've just been kind of struggling, and I'm trying to really just let myself be in the struggle and to feel my way through it, but to also look for what do I need during it, what's actually helpful and what's not helpful. What I've noticed is my default when I'm kind of down is to do a lot of doom scrolling. And it's not like I'm like consuming all this news that's like scary and terrible and all these horrible things. I'm watching like funny TikTok videos and things, but I'm just like aimlessly scrolling social media in a way that like when I'm done, I don't feel any better. I kind of just feel even more zapped and fried and less hopeful. My other favorite tactic has been to eat my kids' Halloween candy, as I think parents should, but maybe the extent I'm doing it, again, at the end, I don't actually feel better. I kind of have that like gross stomach ache from regretting my choices. Or I do a lot of laying in bed and I'm not necessarily sleeping, yet I'm kind of tired all the time. It's just a lot of like just depressed, not excited, really struggling, not wanting to go out and kind of do things with friends. I've also been in the habit of starting some pretty big projects and not really finishing them, which is not like me. And I've been complaining a little bit more to my friends and family. And I also noticed, which is weird because I generally am a pretty happy, easy-go-lucky person, but I haven't been laughing a lot. And I think what kind of finally broke me was about 2 weeks ago, I had another leak in my house. For any of you that have been listening for a while, you know I am cursed with house flooding. My basement has flooded twice in this house that I'm in. The house I was in before, we had multiple water issues in Seattle. I won't even go into that. But my basement's flooded twice. I've had like 3 bathroom leaks, and there was another bathroom leak. And I just was like, I can't. I can't deal with this. Like it just really kind of tipped me over. So as I was going through this and trying to make some decisions on what do I do, bigger picture with some other things going on in my personal life, I really kind of stepped back and was like, okay, I'm not in a great spot and I can admit that and I know that. And medication can help and connecting with people can help, but I was like, really, let's break it down because I know the 5 elements of emotional health, right? It's sleep, movement, nutrition, natural light, and connection. So sleep I could always do better with, but truth be told, that's probably not where I'm struggling the very most. Again, movement I could be better with, but not my biggest struggle. Nutrition, the Halloween candy is definitely not helping, but not where I'm struggling the most. Natural light is tricky because again, where I live, it's dark most of the day, it feels like. So again, I wasn't like getting a gold star on any of these, but the one that really stood out to me where I was like, this is where I need to focus was connection. As a person in the United States that's going through a lot right now, connection was really where I was like, this is where I need to focus. And what I think is going to help me kind of come out of this low spot I'm in and dealing with. So when we think about these 5 elements of emotional health, connection is actually 3 parts. It's connection to self, connection to others, and connection to a higher power. Again, I think I can always be better at all of those, but the one that I can tell I'm really not even filling my bucket up halfway full was and is connection with others. So that's a little bit of what I want to talk about today of how do we kind of have hope for the future, hope that we're going to be okay, hope that things are going to turn around, hope that it's all going to work out. And I want to talk to you about how I've been trying to do that in the terms of connecting with others, okay? I'm a big Sharon McMahon fan. She's dubbed herself America's government teacher, where she talks about what's going on in the news and politically without having a stance one way or another. She's trying to help educate us as humans as to the laws and the rules and what the implications might be without taking a political stance on either side. And I really like what she says about hope. She says, outrage is not activism. And I'm like, okay, that's true. Like, we can be mad and angry and upset, and we're allowed to, but that's not actually activism. That's not actually helping resolve anything. What we want to do is take what's not fair, what we don't agree with, what we don't like, what we don't think is good, and we want to act on it. So as I think about focusing on connection with other people, I feel like this is where my biggest gap is, in that I don't feel that strong connection with people physically in my life. I have a lot of strong connections, but it's a lot of virtual connections. And yet at the same time, on the other side of the coin, where I feel like some of the frustration and the despair and the worry and the outrage is over connection with people. Why on one hand, connection is where a lot of the despair and frustration is coming from, connection is also where I believe hope is found. Okay. So by default, our brains and our nervous system, we are out there trying to see what's bad, what's outrageous, what things do we disagree on, where are the injustices, what do we not align with. And the media and things we consume around us really feeds on this and takes it to the extreme, because again, this is what grabs our attention. There's lots of fear tactics and big scary things in any avenue of life that you want to dive into. Quick interruption. If what you learn on this podcast is helpful, this is just the beginning. Your next step is to go and schedule a coffee chat, and we're going to dive into your specific situation. You'll leave knowing a few things you can try right away to get unstuck. And no, this is not a sales call. My goal is to help however I can. If I think coaching can help, I will tell you about it, but I'm currently on a wait list for new clients. Click the link in the show notes or go to lindsaylymancoaching.com/chat and get on my calendar. I only offer a few of these a week, and it's first come, first serve. All right, back to the podcast. Whereas I've been really trying to focus on connection with others, I've been trying to focus on it from the stance of taking action. Because to me, that's really where I can keep that hope alive. If I'm not taking action and I'm just doom scrolling and eating my kids' Halloween candy, I do not feel better because I'm not taking action. That's just me like sitting and stewing in the disappointment and the worry and the angst of it all. I got a random text the other day from a woman that I used to work with whom I love. The very first time I met her, there's just something just so bright and caring and amazing about this woman that I can't even explain. But anyways, she randomly sent me a text just the other day and must have known I was feeling a little bit down. And she just said, "Hey, just checking in, letting you know I love you, miss you, hope all is well." And she and I exchanged a little text response back and forth. And it really helped fill my bucket and helped me feel more hopeful as I was hearing what she was doing as she was struggling with some things and how she was getting together with other people in her work and putting together a women's conference. And I was like, that's amazing. I love this. Let's go take some action. So as I've been trying to focus on this, I want to share with you a few things I've been doing that have helped, and maybe they'll help you too. But I want to offer to you the opportunity, if you're feeling a little stuck or down or worried or anxious or uncertain, I want to offer to you to look for connection with the live humans you are interacting with on a day-to-day basis in your immediate surrounding from a place of taking action. But I want to tell you what I mean by this, because it doesn't have to be something big and huge and complicated. I'm a big believer. Small, consistent things are really what make a big difference. So for me, one of the things I've been working on is I try to make a point to connect with the people that are helping me at the store or on the phone or in any type of capacity like that. So if I'm at the grocery store, I try not to be on my phone. I try not to have my headphones in, listening to a podcast or an audiobook. And I genuinely just try to take those 2 minutes and connect with the cashier. It's a simple, hi, how are you? Looking someone in the eye, smiling at them, asking them, do you have any fun plans after work? What things are you excited about this week? Just having those small, simple human connection moments have really helped me feel connected and hopeful, because I realize as I go out in my community and the people around me, why we may not agree on some of the bigger things from a political standpoint or a health system standpoint, as humans, there's actually way more we do agree on. And we do have a lot of connection. And when I feel that connection, it helps me feel hope. So as I'm connecting with that cashier, we're just having a 2-3 minute genuine human interaction. But it takes me being willing to engage with that person, where I very easily have the distraction of my phone or my kids if I want to. Another way that this really helped turn things around for me, again, I was just kind of struggling one day. And I was on the phone with a provider about some insurance stuff. And I don't know why, but for some reason, it just overwhelms me and it's harder than it should be. And I was very frustrated with the entire process. And I was trying to do something and explain my situation. And this had probably been the 4th or 5th person I had talked to, and no one was really able to help me. Well, one of the things I do when I am on the phone and once I finally get to a person is I try to write down what their name is, because usually at the beginning of the call, they'll tell you, hi, my name is Lindsay. How can I help you? And I try to use their name back to them, because what I found is it makes them feel seen and heard, and it completely changes the conversation and allows us to connect at a deeper level. So I was on the phone with this insurance person, explained the situation, and Crystal was so helpful. She was able to answer my questions very directly. I reiterated it back just to confirm that I understood. She helped give me some pointers, and we started kind of joking because I was like, man, I was surprised by this. I didn't know this. And she and I had this beautiful 5 minutes of connection. And by the end of the call, we were both laughing and giggling. And she even said, thank you. This was my favorite call of the day. But what she doesn't know is she was my favorite call of the day as well. Because I made a point to see her as a human, to connect with her, to be vulnerable with her, to be genuine with her and express some of my frustration and concern, but to also notice how helpful she was, how knowledgeable she was. And I made a point to tell her, thank you. I needed that. This was very helpful. I've been looking for her and I didn't even know it. Because what happens when I have those genuine moments of connection, that is what helps me feel better. It makes me believe thoughts like, we're going to be okay. There are good people out there. There are people that can help. There are people that want to help. I can ask questions and find answers, right? It makes it easier for my brain to believe those thoughts, which helps me feel hope. And when I feel hope, I go and take even more actions. So I work from home. I'm at my house a lot. I talk to a lot of people, but it's usually through a screen. For me, it's easier to feel that connection when I'm in the presence of people, even strangers. So what I'm trying to do to look for the hope and to feel that hope and to feel that connection and to fill my bucket, why I know I'm in a state where I'm trying to get to that higher level where I just generally wake up feeling a little bit better, is to look for the connection, to smile at the stranger at the street, to wave at the little kid in the store, to help the elderly person, or simply say hello. If you find yourself in a similar situation, I would offer to you that there is hope. Take action. Take small and simple action daily. It is out there. You can create it. You can add to the hope. You just need to look for it or you will miss it. Going back to those 5 elements of emotional health, which one do you know you're struggling with the most? Is it sleep, movement, nutrition, natural light, or connection? And whichever one it is, look for a very simple, easy way to make a 1-degree improvement on it each day. And I promise you it can help shift everything around. All right, y'all. I want you to know you're amazing. It's okay to not be okay. We're going to be okay. There is so much goodness out there. We are more alike than we are different. And we will continue to figure things out one day at a time. All right, y'all. You got this. We'll talk soon. Hey, you didn't schedule a coffee chat yet. Remember, that's the next step. There's so much more I can help you with. You're going to leave this coffee chat knowing a few things you can try right now, depending on your specific situation. This is not a sales call. My goal is simply to help however I can. If I do think coaching can help, I can tell you about it, but I'm currently on a wait list for new clients. Click the link in the show notes or go to lindsaylymancoaching.com/chat to get on my calendar. I only offer a few coffee chats a week and it's first come, first serve, so don't wait. Chat with you soon.